These are not the same Houston Rockets. This year, after adding in, of course, Kevin Durant, that was the big splash of the offseason, but they've got guys like Alperen Sengun, Amen Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr., all looking to prove a point and say that they've arrived, on top of a ton of other young guys on this roster, guys like Tari Eason, Reed Shepherd, just to name a couple, looking to make an impact here, as well as some elite veterans that they've gone out and re-signed, but they have completely reshaped their offense this year. And one of the biggest things for the Rockets this year is finding out who is going to be the new point guard. Any of these four guys could take it over on any given play, and we saw Sengun do it last night, just going right at Misi right there, and then going right at Jordan Poole in the mismatch and kicking to Jabari Smith Jr. Look at the spacing here. This is what having KD and JSJ out there gives you. It gives Alperen Sengun a wide open lane with Steven Adams sitting in that dunker spot. Trey Murphy slides in, immediate kick to Jabari Smith for the easy three ball. Amen also played a lot of point guard last night. And watch this play here. They've got KD coming off the off-ball action with Sengun. Everybody else is preoccupied. Herb Jones doesn't really want to give Amen a driving lane, so he's playing off, and Amen's going to pull up and hit it. If he's getting better at that, then look out. And then this is beautiful right here. Coming off the ball screen, getting to his right hand. If we see Amen out of the pick and roll more often this year, it's going to be filthy, especially coming off Gortat screens with Steven Adams. And then this is beautiful right here as well. Look at the spacing that having KD out here provides. Everybody, they show a little bit of a horns look. Everybody thinks it's going to KD. Instead, they enter it to Sengun and just have Jabari Smith Jr. post up, because when they run this lineup, everybody is massive. The only guy under 6'10 is Amen Thompson. He's about 6'7", 6'8", and they've got everybody above the free throw line other than Steven Adams, who is drawing Zion out of the paint. Then right here, they get back to another horns look, this time with Josh Okogie at the elbow. They send Jeff Green through, or Clint Capella through, excuse me. Tari Eason's going to come flying off this DHO and get the easy dunk out of the horns look. And then this is what they can do with Reed Shepherd. Little DHO, Alvarado's going to fight through, and Sengun's just going to simply turn around and rescreen, giving Reed Shepherd that kind of shield to knock down the three ball. And then once again, coming off the exchange right here, I mean, it wasn't even a screen or anything. Reed's just going to pull up and pop. And the ultimate game changer, the reason why these are not the same Houston Rockets, yeah, they got their ISO guy. They got their closer. The guy that could score in a phone booth right here is just going to rip through, get right to the rim, finish with the right hand for the and one. And then once again on an island, this time with Trey Murphy, going to back him down. One-legged fadeaway, butter. And then this time, one-on-one with Herb Jones. Gets to his spot with 2 seconds left in the half and knocks down the buzzer beater before going to the break. I mean, backing down Jordan Hawkins. What can he not do is the question at this point. This is a ridiculously tough shot. Drawing the foul, getting the and one against Zion. Yeah, he's still a young fella compared to KD. And then Jabari Smith Jr., I think he's taking the leap. He's averaging like 20 points a game with KD alongside of him in the preseason, 22, I believe, to be specific. Yeah, he put up 26 points, 5 rebounds, and assists, and 2 stocks last night on 7 of 16 shooting from the field, 4 of 10 from beyond the arc. We talked about catching this pass off the Sengun back down and knocking it down. Then right here in transition, pulling up and knocking down the three ball. And if he's doing that on a consistent basis in transition, look out. 12.2 points a game, 7 rebounds, an assist in 30 minutes a night. Shot 44% from the field, 35% from 3 on 5 attempts, and last year was really good, especially getting downhill like right here over Mark Williams, putting in a ton of defensive effort and then knocking down the three ball. Hopefully this year, alongside of Kevin Durant, he's going to be filthy, because I mean, he's 6'10", with that 7'1" wingspan, really resembles what KD has physically, so we'll see what he's able to do. I'm hoping for a big-time breakout year for Jabari Smith Jr., the former number 3 overall pick in the draft. And then we talk about Kevin Durant. Just bringing him in changes the dynamic of this Rockets team so much. Yes, he's 37, but he's coming off of a year averaging almost 27 a game with 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and he did that in 36 minutes a night. A ridiculous season from Kevin Durant at the age of 36. Now at 37, he looks to replicate it, and my favorite part was the fact that he shot 53% from the field and 43% from 3 on 6 attempts. What was a ridiculous stat line. Like, oh my god. And then we talked about it earlier. The fact that they can just give it to him and he can score in a phone booth. It is ridiculous. Right here, got him posted up in the mid post in the corner. Just give it to him and go to work. And that's what the Rockets missed so much last year in the playoffs. He put up 15, 4, and 2 last night in 28 minutes on 6 of 13 shooting from the field. But back to my point, that's what the Rockets were missing the whole time, was a guy they could just give the ball to and he could go get a bucket, because the Warriors were clamping them up. I'm not going to lie. They had some really good defensive schemes, and if the Rockets had a guy like KD, then they become unguardable. That's over Herb Jones, too, that buzzer beater. That's not an easy guy to score on. Taking Jordan Hawkins in the post spin, fade away, book it, and then we talked about this. Just an absolute pro move here against Zion, using the shoulders, getting him out of the way, getting the and one to go. Now, Sengun is the franchise here in Houston. We talk about Amen Thompson a lot, Jabari Smith Jr., Kevin Durant. Sengun is the guy. He is the franchise here. He's coming off a year averaging 19 and 10 with 5 assists and a steal. Was dominating Eurobasket this summer. Shot 50% from the field, 23% from 3. And versus Golden State, he had a pretty solid series. 21 and 12 with 5 assists and 2 steals. Now, the efficiency wasn't there. He was going up against Draymond Green on a nightly basis, one of the best defenders in the history of the league. But still, I mean, he looked like a franchise guy, like a franchise center, and his ability to bring the ball up. I mean, he just shows flashes of baby Jokic all the time. The fact that he will be just 23 years old this season is kind of crazy, because it feels like he has arrived. And then you get to Amen Thompson. Speaking of guys that have arrived, one of the untouchable pieces on this team in Indy Kevin Durant trade was Amen Thompson, and at 6'7" with a 7-foot wingspan, one of maybe the freakiest athlete in the NBA right now. You can see why. He averaged 14 and 8 with 4 assists last year and almost 3 stocks a game, while shooting 56% from the field and 27% from 3 on 2 attempts. But as a guy that's probably going to be playing point guard this year, he is super important without Fred VanVleet. Looking at his numbers versus the Warriors last year, where he averaged just under 16 points a game and 7 rebounds, Amen is a monster. And we talked about if he can knock down this 3 ball at a consistent clip, then look out, because he's going to be at a whole nother level. That pick and roll was nasty. Misdirection on top of misdirection. He finished with 21, 5, and 3 last night in just 24 minutes. Still a fantastic cutter off of Alperen Sengun. That's one thing I'm really excited to watch, is guys like Tari, KD, Jabari Smith Jr., and even Tari Eason cut off of Alperen Sengun because of how good of a passer he is out of the post. And you could get some big-time finishes. We talked about this horn set right here, getting Tari Eason running downhill and finishing the dunk. He finished with 22 and 2, as well as a block in 20 minutes. Shot 9 of 15 from the field, 0 of 4 from beyond the arc. He looks to be a guy that is going to be getting an extension here in the very near future. Just a super athlete, and of course, he is an all-worldly defender, especially coming off that bench. Seeing his offensive bag start to develop as well is nice. Getting to a little mid-range jumper? Look out now. And one. And then Reed Shepherd, who we talked about earlier. We talked about him coming off of DHOs, coming off of exchanges, really anything to get him an open look, and he's a dead eye. He finished with 13 points, 3 boards, 2 assists in 18 minutes last night. I don't know if he's going to be the starting point guard from day one. I doubt it. I think they roll them in. 4 of 8 shooting from the field, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. But Reed Shepherd definitely could grow in to that starting point guard role. However, I think they're going to use him more off the ball right now. Dorian Finney-Smith did not play. He's just another guy they have coming off the wing that can knock down the 3 ball and can really defend. I am really excited for this Houston Rockets team this year with a guy like Kevin Durant hanging around. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like button. Leave me a comment down below and hit that subscribe button if you did enjoy at any point. With that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video.